tried, but tonight. I mean, they are playing Billy Joel, so maybe not so, unfortunately. So yeah, that was Dylan Bar, which Dylan Whiskey Bar is one of the places in Laugavegur, which is good on a night out. They've actually got a really cool series of concerts this summer because there was a festival, Secret Solstice, that was cancelled, and so lots of the acts are performing at Dylan instead, and it's all being live streamed if you're not in the city. But anyway, we're in Laugavegur, the main street in Reykjavik. If you're a tourist, you will be walking up and down this street a lot, day and night. And in fact, it is not day, although you won't be able to tell from, you know, the light. It is the night time. Welcome to Icelandic summer. It basically doesn't get dark. And we are checking out what happens in Reykjavik at night during the gathering ban, coronavirus restriction situation. So yeah, normally the time is nearly 11 right now, and normally that would be the start of a night out, but not at the minute. It is in fact the end of the night out because we currently have a curfew of 11 o'clock. Well, not really a curfew. Bars have to close at 11 o'clock, clubs as well, any entertainment venue. So yeah, everyone's getting much earlier bedtimes at the minute. It's one of the last restrictions to go. The other one is the gathering ban, 500 people at the minute. We're not really sure when that's going to change. The chief epidemiologist in a public press conference the other day said that he's looking at changing the gathering ban to 1,000 people, so you can gather up to 1,000 people on the first weekend of August, which is Merchants Weekend. It's a big bank holiday. So after that's passed, he will consider changing it. Bars might change then. In the past, he said maybe a 1 o'clock curfew instead. So, you know, not the normal partying till 4 o'clock in the morning, but better than nothing. Basically, the rationale is drunk people don't social distance. I mean, it's probably a smart point. So yeah, this is Laugavegur at night. Whilst we're on the subject of coronavirus, one of the big things to come out this week in the news has been some new stats on the impact of the coronavirus on the tourism industry here in Iceland. So in June, there was a 96% drop in passengers arriving in Iceland from when compared to 2019, and there was a 53% drop in flights. So obviously that has decimated the tourism industry. There are probably going to be lots of closures, and we're going to be feeling the repercussions of this one for a long time. Overnight stays in hotels have dropped by 79% in June in comparison to 2019. Even in the first 3 months of the year, when we were just beginning to sort of understand what coronavirus was, VAT from the tourism industry dropped by 10%, and revenue from the industry dropped by 28%. So those are the earliest indicators we've got of how bad this is going to be for the economy. So yeah, that's one to watch. On the subject of tourism, the tourist board, ever resourceful, has come up with some new ideas to save the industry, I guess. But yeah, the latest campaign has got a lot of international attention. Sorry, the bars are now all chucking out. We've reached the curfew, so it's going to get a bit busy around here. But anyway, so the program is, this tourism program is Let It Out. And so basically, very simple concept. You scream into like your computer at home, and it gets recorded, and then it gets played into the Icelandic countryside from little yellow boxes they set up in places like the Westfjords, Skogfoss, Grindavik, all over the place. So yeah, the idea is let your COVID stresses out, your stresses about the tourism industry maybe, and you know, scream into the Icelandic countryside. But Icelanders not so keen on the most part. Everyone's thinking this is the craziest idea because we're not getting any money from this. The tourists aren't arriving in Iceland, we're just getting their noise pollution in some really beautiful natural beauty spots. So yeah, a bit of an odd one. I'll give it to the tourism board though. I mean, it got a lot of media attention, we're talking about it, so I guess they're doing their jobs. Anyway, as you can see, it's getting busier and busier. We're right in the heart of sort of Reykjavik's nightlife. We've got frigates over there, we've got beef over there. Yeah, so as you can see, nightlife is not dead in Iceland, even during a pandemic. The only other thing to mention is we are going to have some bad weather at the minute. So as you can see, a bit cloudy, a bit stormy here, but not too bad in comparison to the Westfjords, which actually has an orange weather warning at the minute. So they've had landslides, there's going to be mudslides possibly, there's winds of 30 meters per second. It's really, really bad over there. I know a group of around 30 tourists got stranded and had to be rescued in a certain remote point. And the running race has had to be cancelled. There's a triathlon, a running festival that has had to be cancelled. So obviously everyone in the Westfjords and the north, we hope stay safe this weekend. And that's everything in the news for this week. We've just come out with our print issue. That's big news. Our latest print issue. It's jam-packed full of good stuff as usual. We have music, pride, sconsa. Me and Valu went on a very long hike, which you can read all about. Andy Sophia Fontaine, our news editor, went with a volcanologist for a day near Grindavik, which is showing some interesting, interesting volcanic activity. So check out our High Five Club, our shop as always. It really, really helps us out. And I'm going to call it a night because it's actually past Art's bedtime, so we have to get him to bed. Bye. Oh, sorry. Just to mention, this is a very cool new art installation for Design March. Yeah.